a chartered accountant by profession,
Okay.
which is a CPA equivalent in US. My favorite department, which is training department, I am involved in there since last 2 years. I have a very rich experience in both accounting and taxation. I have the ability to conduct a good accounting as well as a taxation process.
Jyoti don't play, y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, she don't play. She means business. She keeps everybody in line.
We actually listen to the client, understand their needs, the KYC, know your clients, and we try to implement on what their requirements are. So we try to grab the assignments of tax returns, both individual as well as business tax returns.
How do we train our staff? How do we get them prepared to be able to handle business tax returns?
It is not just important to input the numbers in the software. It is equally important to have a sense and understanding of the numbers that are displaying in the profit and loss and the balance sheet.
The buck stops with you. What are some of the things that you've seen that certain accountants struggle with?
First thing that I look at the tax return, the prior year tax return, whenever we get the roll forwarded tax return, is the opening balance sheet reconciliation. We have the system, the process that is required in today's world.
Good evening, world. Welcome to the Cloud IT podcast, made for accountants and CPAs, right? To better their practices. Here we are with the one and only Jyoti, and I want to tell you guys about Jyoti before Jyoti starts, because I'm telling you, when Jyoti gets the mic, I want everybody to just listen. But I'm gonna tell you about Jyoti. Is one of the first people I met when we worked together, and she was on my case about getting. I had to do this. I had to make sure I was doing this. I said, okay, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm there. So I want to introduce you guys to Jyoti. Let's give it up for Jyoti. How you doing, Jyoti?
Oh my God. Thank you so much, Steve, for such a warm welcome. I can't expect more than this. This is really amazing. It's really exciting.
Jyoti, people don't know you. People in the world is getting to know you. I can't wait to share it.
Correct.
Tell them about you. Who are you? What are your values? Where are you born? Tell me just more about you.
First of all, Steve, it has been absolute pleasure to be a part of your show. And I want to start with a namaste to all my viewers here. To start about myself is I'm a chartered accountant by profession, which is a CPA equivalent in US, as we all know.
Sure.
At CLOUDIT, I am holding the position of a controller of operations, wherein I am involved in a lot of departments. First of all, I am heading the Department of Business Tax Returns, which is involving the forms like 1120S, 1120, 1065, 990, and many more. Then I am also involved in the HR processes along with my HR team, the hiring processes and everything. How do we hire people? The final round of interviews and everything. I'm involved in that. Next involvement of mine is in my favorite department, which is training department. I am involved in there since last 2 years at CloudIT, and it is actually the closest to my heart, the training one, because when I started my journey as a chartered accountant in 2012, I was not knowing that I'm going to go so much far. Now it is 14 years plus, and I have a very rich experience in both accounting and taxation. I'm really blessed. I'm really gratitude. I have a lot of gratitude towards God that yes, I have the ability to conduct a good accounting as well as a taxation process.
I love all that. I can attest. Jyoti don't play, y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, she don't play. She means business. She keeps everybody in line. And if you have a business, you are blessed to have a Jyoti on your team. I want to learn more about the business tax returns in the sense of, we help so many companies with their business tax returns. What are some of the ways that companies benefit from having someone like CloudIT managing their business tax returns? How do we do things? What are some of the quality control metrics we got in place? What have you seen? Right? Talk to us a little bit about how CloudIT handles business tax returns.
So at CloudIT, I would like to start with, we actually listen to the client. We actually try to understand their needs, the KYC, know your clients, and we try to implement on what their requirements are, first of all. So therein where we step in and we understand their needs, the requirements, their wish list, we try to implement them in our own automated processes, the dashboards, the technology, and everything. If I talk about more or less about the tax workflow. We try to grab the assignments of tax returns, both individual as well as business tax returns. We prepare them, we review them. Again, we have a quality check over and above the review part, which is done by another expert who is involved in the team. Then we try to provide the final deliverable to the client. So this is the entire workflow. And above that, we also try to use the work management processes, the task management processes. We have our own automated systems. We have our own LMS. We have the system, the process that is required in today's world for anything, like for any task, for maybe a business tax return preparation.
So with all this work that we're doing, there has to be some training, right? Talk to us about, how do we train our staff? How do we get them prepared to be able to handle business tax returns, or prepared to handle clients in general? Like, what is our training process? Speak about our training.
The training process starts with the trainability of a person, whether he is or not, he is trainable to accept that challenge of preparing a business tax returns. If we are training a person who is a reviewer, we try to see their trainability on the review side. We also try to provide them training on the reading of financials. As a tax accountant, it is not just important to input the numbers in the software. It is equally important to have a sense and understanding of the numbers that are displaying in the profit and loss and the balance sheet. So unless you have that knowledge, you will not be regarded as trained, my dear. So
No,
that was one thing.
We don't put you out there, do we? No, we don't. No, we don't. I love that. The buck stops with you. What are some of the things that you've seen that certain accountants struggle with in your experience? What are some of the things? Because it's not always good, right? We can talk about the positive things, the positive things, the positive things. But then what are some of the things that you've seen that accountants just struggle with, and then you've come in and help them out? Because I'm really trying to shine light on how good you are, and show when Jyoti grabs you, it's a good thing, right? So what are some of the situations you've seen, and then how did you jump in and clean that up?
The situations that I have crossed with is one, I saw that the opening balance sheet reconciliation, the first thing that I look at the tax return, the prior year tax return, whenever we get the roll forwarded tax return, is the opening balance sheet reconciliation. The ending retained earnings are not matching with the prior year tax return. That is the first thing that I see at their financials. So therein they are making some mistakes. Any entry or journal entry have been passed in the retained earnings. That is why it's not being correctly roll forwarded. Next issue that I see is the financials. They are not classified well. They are not categorized well. The items in the P&L, in the balance sheet, the depreciation thing. I see a lot of clients coming with their prior year returns with depreciation, with not following the rules, and standards of the depreciation. They are not following the years. They are not giving the proper lifetime of the asset. Sometimes the asset which has to be capitalized in the balance sheet, they are pushing them in the profit and loss. They are not maintaining the proper depreciation schedule. That is another thing that I'm seeing. Second thing that I see generally is the tax rules and regulations. They are not properly updated, because I think they are not somewhere more educated in that. As a tax accountant, it is my responsibility to educate my client on their tax returns. That, hey, see, look at this. This number is flowing here, but it should not be reported here. It should be reported somewhere else. The line items, the line description, they say everything to you. But if you don't follow that, the return is going to be in a bad situation.
So we do a good job of communicating with the client. So it's not just the work, right? It's the understanding of the work, right? To let them know, hey, we know what we're doing. These are some of the adjustments that we made. This is why we made those adjustments. So those are some of the things. And I'm sorry for asking you all these nerd accountant questions, but when you talk about it, you glow, right? When you start talking about taxes, when you start talking about accounting, golly, right? That smile comes out. And so I really enjoy it. I want to shift a little bit. Tell us about your experience at CLOUDIT. Like, how the culture, what have you experienced? What do you like? What gets you waking up and excited to come to work with us?
Oh, that is so emotional now. Oh my God. CLOUDIT is my second family. family, I would say. The people here, the team here, the mentors here, Sam and Andrew, have been my absolute support till now. And they are going to be for many, many years. I'm sure
There we
about it.
go. There we go.
Really, the people that I have met here, the friends that I've made here with Sam, he's like my brother. It's that relationship that
That's it.
we are maintaining here. And it's like a family, it's like a family member that comes to another family member for any issue or a resolution and everything. With Cloud IT, I have really grown myself as per the skill set, as per my knowledge. Like the challenges that I'm taking here along with my team is I don't think I have taken anywhere else. I have worked with QX Global Group as well, but that X factor we see in a person, that X factor I see in Cloud IT, which really attracts me, to wake up every morning and just see your email, the task and everything, responses to clients. My clients, yes,
And
they
that's the
are
thing. To your
my,
point. We
yeah.
build these relationships with the clients, right?
Yes,
We build these
absolutely,
relationships, and
absolutely.
that's what makes it certain special, right? That's what makes it super unique. We're not just transactional,
Correct,
right?
absolutely.
Not at all. Within Cloud IT, where do you see Cloud IT going? I'm gonna put you on the spot. I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Oh, that's really
Where
a
do
good
you
one, I would
see?
say. I think how Cloud IT is growing nowadays, I think it's going to go places. Like we have everything set up here. We have the processes, we have the systems, we have the power to take up challenges, to think out of the box. We have a team, we have people which whom we are training, and they are really expert. They are really good at their work. We have a good trust in them. They trust us. We have a good HR department who is not leaving any stone unturned when they're hiring people, a good set of skillful people. And when they are coming to operations, they are doing wonders. I think we are having the R&R, the rewards and recognition at our company, which have been started recently, but yes, it is really motivating people inclined towards. They see something in Cloud ID that they are attached to it, and the growth, the thing that you are talking about, I think it is going to be the most lovable company.
Biggest company in the world.
Yes, the most lovable company of on this earth. I think I really love Cloud IT. I am a part of the Cloud IT. I'm really I have that ownership in it. I really have that in me, with Cloud ID.
See, I wanted to pull that out of you. That was my job. That was my only job, is to just pull that, pull that, pull that. I want to go back. I meant to ask you something about operations that I wanted to go back, and our software. How has clients received it? Has it helped companies? Tell me a little bit about like how clients benefit from our operational workflow. They may not have a workflow, or their workflow, a lot of times with accountants, they are the workflow, right?
Yep,
You know what I mean?
yep.
Work comes in, I do all the work. So
Right.
explain us how we come in and we help them operationally. How does that work?
Yes, I think in this case, technology has really helped us a lot. The new software, the automated processes that have really helped us a lot. For example, if I talk about the tax returns, we are having an automated tax workflow with Smart Dash. It's a task for a client to fill up a form. When he submits it, he is getting one email with a portal invitation, and once he logs in there, he reset his password. He is going to see his own dashboard where he can navigate anywhere. He can fill their client onboarding form, he can fill their tax organizers, everything is there. He can see the status of their tax returns. Everything is on your screen. You don't need to go anywhere else.
And we 100% to your point, like having the software as an option for these accountants have 100% changed their operational workflow. You need it, and they need it. When you walk into a place and you want to bring order, right? Hey, this has to change. This has to change. What are some of the things you look for, right? Are you looking at the person? Are you looking at the whole situation? How does Jyoti go about going into a situation and really changing things or really helping the client? How do you go about doing it?
I think when, for example, if a client is onboarded, maybe I can talk about the taxes side more than accounting. If I see that any task has been assigned to me, I would like to see their financials first, their documentation first, whether they are properly documented, whether all the documents are received or no, the 1099s, their profit and loss, balance sheet, the cash flows, everything, the required schedules, the supporting statements, the supporting documents, bank
Uh-huh.
statements. There are a lot of things that you have a checklist in your mind. Whenever
Got
you
it.
you
Got it. So you
you
like to go
have
through
that.
each one. I got it.
Absolutely. I would make a checklist with me and I'm going to tick mark it every time I see that this task is done on that process. Once I have cleared that checklist of the client onboarding process, I would like to have my team start preparation on the tax return. Then
I
again, I will
love it.
have my another checklist on the preparation side, whether they have incorporated they have reported everything in the order. Then again, it passes to the reviewer. Then again, I will have my own checklist. All these things are going to be the
I
part of the
hope
checklist.
I hope the world is really hearing how diligent you are, right? In this process, right? In the due diligence of the work, right? The quality control, everything that we put in place to ensure that the
Right.
client gets as accurate returns or as accurate statements as we can possibly do, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then that still doesn't mean that we don't make mistakes, right?
Absolutely.
It's
Correct.
not it's not about the the,
We are
the, the mistakes we
humans.
make. Come on now. Come on now. And I want to speak to that because I don't want to come off as perfect, right? Because nobody's perfect. How do we manage mistakes that we may make as a company? What is our protocol? What do we do, right? How do we do that?
So I think on the once the tax return, for example, I'm always taking an example of a tax return.
Good. I love
I'm
it.
more in the
That's what you
tax
do.
return
That's what
side.
you do. Stay there.
Yeah.
Stay where you at.
So if I take example of a tax return, I think once that is passed from the preparation side to the review side, it's the high responsibility of the reviewer to take care of the review part of the tax return. Once that
Mm,
is done and he has marked this off, a quality check is going to be done by an expert, another expert. He is
good.
going to see whether all the schedules are properly maintained, all the schedules are properly reported, the line items are correct, the depreciation part is done well, any form that needs to be generated has been generated. Most importantly, the critical diagnostics. If I tell you about the client's issue that the diagnostics are not being cleared. Generally, all the diagnostics have to be cleared before passing it to the client for review. The fertile diagnostics, the critical diagnostics, e-filing diagnostics, suggestions, overrides, there are a lot of things in a tax software. So once we pass all these diagnostics, then only we
Uh-huh.
try to send it to the client for review.
Got it.
That is
Got
where
it.
we try to reduce any mistake or
Reduce
we
any
do not
mistake.
have the mistake.
I think you said it big, right? We do our best to not have large mistakes, right? So
Absolutely.
it's not that mistakes don't happen, but we put the quality thing checks in place to ensure that anything large
Right.
it's not there. It goes through a series of a
Right,
litany
right.
of
Because
of
tax
checks.
return is something, it's not a continuous process. It's very subjective. It's very depending on the situation, how the situation is, that is going to be impacted on the tax return. It's not like
Mhm.
accounting that we are doing the monthly accounting and it's running as a process, but tax return is very seasonal. That is what we understand by tax returns. So it's a
Oh
seasonal
man,
business.
absolutely. It's a seasonal business. Speaking of seasons, speaking of seasons.
Oh.
I always want to, I always want to end with something crazy. I got to end with something crazy. But so we have holidays coming up. We have holidays. We have all these wonderful things. What is your personal favorite holiday? I want to know your personal favorite holiday and tell me why. Why is it your favorite holiday?
I think my favorite holiday would be Diwali
Okay,
because it
okay.
spreads light, it's really
Hmm.
spreads energy, and it has a mythological importance as well. Wherein, if I talk to you, if I tell you the small story, is our Lord Rama came back from the exile on that day. So that
Oh,
is. Yes, so that is
yes.
very mythological. It has a very good mythological importance as well. And it is actually a festival of defeating the bad, defeating the evil by a victory.
Yeah,
So this
absolutely.
is something which is very special to my heart. So yes, Diwali
It
is
sounds
the
like you
best
be
one.
out there partying, Josie. You be partying. You be partying.
Yes, it went really well this time. Like Diwali has passed
You
like
better
a
tell
week
him. You
ago.
better tell him. You a sweet lady at work who don't play, but you like to have a good time too. So you like to have a good time. Well, that's good. Well, listen,
Absolutely.
this has been amazing. I really hope that you guys got to learn a lot about Jyoti and her insane experience when it comes to business tax operations, quality control. She is the master. We are so lucky to have her, and don't you dare try to call her and steal her. It ain't happening, right? Jyoti, we love you, and I hope this was an exciting time for you.
Great. It was awesome. It was great, Steve, to be the part of your show. I have already seen the last two podcasts with Jaslina and
All
Nikki, and
right,
it was amazing, bang on. So
you're
I
next. You're
really
next. Bang on, bang on. I like that. Bang
Oh
on.
God.
You
And
start saying that.
it's not
I
that
like it.
I'm lucky. The Cloud IT is lucky to have me. I think I'm lucky to have Cloud
You
IT
have Cloud IT.
as my organization, because the things that I have learned here is really going to be part till my the end of my life. So
Absolutely. Well, listen, it
yes.
was a pleasure. We did it. I can't wait. I can't wait to let this show and let this air. Have a good one.
Thank you so much, Steve. So sweet of
All
you.
right.
Thanks a
Bye
lot.
bye.
Bye.